The weather is hot and so is the mahal in India as India goes to elections this year again. Irrespective of which party comes into power, I think India is in a developing motion which will continue to grow. As elections come around the corner, we bring you to a special episode of Sahayak Gurukul on the scenario of elections and markets in finance. We have with us Mr. Sandeep Sahni, our financial expert. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you.
Sir, what do you think? Elections का stock markets पे कितना impact आएगा?
जो हिस्ट्री हमें बताती है, हिस्ट्री हमें ये बताती है कि पिछले जितने इलेक्शंस हुए हैं, तो स्टॉक मार्केट 1979 से शुरू हुई, सेंसेक्स जो हमारा 1979 से शुरू हुआ, तो डेटा हमारे पास 79 से है, 80 में उसके बाद पहला इलेक्शन हुआ, तब से लेके अब तक elections actually don't have any impact on the market. If you look at the data 1 month before elections and 1 month after elections, there is virtually no impact of the elections. इलेक्शन में ज़रूर एक चीज़ जो ज़रूर होती है वो ये होता है कि शोर बहुत मच जाता है, माहौल गर्म हो जाता है, शोर बहुत मच जाता है, मार्केट के अंदर वॉलेटिलिटी बहुत बढ़ जाती है. इस बार भी क्या हुआ, एक वॉलेटिलिटी इंडेक्स होता है जिसे विक्स इंडेक्स बोलते हैं हम, तो वो इट वाज एट 10 in the last week of April. Today it has gone up to 17. So that is the kind of increase in volatility which has happened. Why? Because शोर बहुत मच रहा है. होता क्या है कि जो रूलिंग पार्टी होती है वो क्लेम करती है हमने बहुत अच्छा काम किया, इकोनॉमी बहुत अच्छी चल रही है, और जो अपोजिशन होती है वो उसको रिफ्यूट करती है, निगेट करती है. दैट इज द नॉर्मल प्रोसेस विच हैपन्स. सेकेंड क्या होता है कि द स्काई इज फॉलिंग थ्योरी होता है. एवरीबडी सेज that the sky is going to fall in case the other party comes to power, whereas nothing of that sort happens. So actually impact elections का नहीं होता. लेकिन मार्केट किस तरह से चलती है, मार्केट को अनसर्टेनिटी अच्छी नहीं लगती. मार्केट वांट्स अ कंटिन्यूएशन ऑफ द पॉलिसी, मार्केट वांट्स अ कंटिन्यूएशन ऑफ द रिफॉर्म्स. सो मार्केट को वो चीज़ चाहिए, मार्केट को अनसर्टेनिटी नहीं चाहिए. तो मार्केट लव्स अ क्लियर मेजॉरिटी, कि एक क्लियर मेजॉरिटी आनी चाहिए. तो अभी तक के जो इंडिकेटर्स आ रहे थे बिफोर द इलेक्शंस वर अनाउंस्ड, इट सीम्ड दैट वन ऑफ द पार्टीज विल गेट अ क्लियर मेजॉरिटी. सो द मार्केट वाज वेरी हैप्पी विद इट एंड इट वाज डूइंग इट्स प्री इलेक्शन रैली. नाउ ऑफ लेट सडनली देयर आर सर्टेन पंडित्स हु हैव स्टार्टेड सेइंग कि नो, दे मे नॉट बी अ वेरी 2/3 मेजॉरिटी बट दे विल बी अ लेसर मेजॉरिटी. सो मार्केट थोड़ा सा उसको देख के थोड़ा बहुत ऊपर नीचे हो रहा है. बट लेट मी टेल यू, उससे कोई लंबा चौड़ा फर्क नहीं पड़ता. मैं आपको एक एग्जांपल देता हूँ. 2004 में इंडिया शाइनिंग का कैंपेन था बीजेपी का, बट अनफॉर्चुनेटली बीजेपी लॉस्ट. व्हेन बीजेपी लॉस्ट द डे द इलेक्शन रिजल्ट्स वर डिक्लेयर्ड, दैट डे द मार्केट हिट बॉटम सर्किट. ठीक, उस दिन मार्केट ने बॉटम सर्किट हिट किया कि अरे अभी तो ये रिफॉर्म्स और ये जो सब प्रोग्रेसिव पॉलिसीज थी शायद खत्म हो जाएंगी, और आने वाली जो गवर्नमेंट है वो कोalition गवर्नमेंट है, तो उसके हाथ बन जाएंगे. बट what happened after that? From 2004 to 2007, the market went up from 4,000 to 21,000. The market went up 5 times. Again in 2009, again elections were held. Congress government came back to power. The market was very happy with it. It hit the upper circuit that day. But from 2009 to 2014, the market didn't go anywhere. So, जो उस दिन का रिजल्ट वाले दिन जो है एक मार्केट पे एक्शन होता है या इम्पैक्ट होता है, उसका फाइनली उसके बाद आने वाले 4 साल 5 साल में कोई लंबा फर्क नहीं पड़ता. सो दैट इज व्हाट इज एक्चुअली द ट्रूथ.
But why does that happen, sir? That during the result, during when the elections are announced, that little flip comes, and then for the next 4 and 5 years, it's on a stable mode or a self-growing mode or whatever.
Like I told you, what happens is, see, what doesn't the market like? Market does not like uncertainty. अभी मैं आपको चलो एक एग्जांपल देता हूँ, एंड आई एम नॉट propagating any party or any such thing. I'm just giving you an example. Now let us assume the NDA does not come back to power for a minute. Now what does the market expect then? The market is very comfortable with the NDA government for the last 10 years. Why? They've been carrying out reforms. They've cut down on freebies. They've been trying to control the fiscal deficit. They've been trying to ensure that the PSUs, public sector undertakings, perform to their potential. All these progressive
pushing
things.
MSMEs.
By
Yes,
pushing
a lot of
MSMEs
things.
and all those kind of things. Right? So all these, and digitization and a lot of other things. Now the market feels, in case the government doesn't come, the next government which may come in, that may change the policies and shift to something else. Let's say it may shift to a capitalist regime to a socialist regime. In that case, if it happens, they may increase the taxes, they may increase the freebies, all those things may start happening, which will finally impact the economy. Because the freebies have to be at some cost. First thing which will happen is the foreign investors will start pulling out their money because they'll feel अभी तो uncertainty है, मालूम नहीं क्या हो गया, तो we will not like to invest in a uncertain environment, right? So that is how the market reacts. But tomorrow, let's say if any government which comes, in the first few months through their announcements and policies and in their budget, if they come out with progressive policies, the market will react, will come back. See, market long term में कैसे चलता है? Market long term में एक ही चीज पे चलता है, which is earnings. Right? So earnings growth companies का कैसा होने वाला है? अभी हम कहते हैं कि earning growth आने वाले time में, like in this financial year, it is expected that the Nifty earnings will be close to, let's say, 18 to 20%. आने वाले period में भी it is expected that Nifty will grow at healthy double-digit growth उनका होने वाला है. तो अगर earnings growth 15% 18% होगा, so there is no reason why the market will not grow at the same rate. But tomorrow if a government comes and increases the corporate tax, then obviously जो earning growth होगा भी, तो वो उसका impact for the shareholder will become lesser. So obviously the market will come down. So these are the things. अगर suppose fiscal deficit बढ़ जाएगा, तो obviously interest rates बढ़ाने पड़ेंगे. Interest rate, inflation बढ़ेगा, interest rate बढ़ेगा. अगर inflation बढ़ेगा, interest rate बढ़ेगा, तो कंपनी का प्रॉफिट कम होने की उम्मीद है, तो इसलिए मार्केट नीचे आ जाएगी. तो ये सब चीजें मार्केट एक अंदाजा लगा के चलती है. कई बार वो अंदाजा ठीक होता है, कई बार वो अंदाजा गलत होता है. So that is what it is. It is, the markets they behave in their own irrational ways at times.
I think keeping these preemptive things in mind, also parties also tend to offer a lot of things to voters or to the people of the nation around the elections. A lot of new policies come into focus, a lot of things that what they are going to do come into the manifestos and all. Of course, it's a political debate, we would stray from that, but अगर clear majority नहीं आती किसी की, irrespective of what promises are being made, do you think that will have any impact on those policies or the stock market vis-a-vis those policies?
See, if a clear majority does not come, then two things will possibly happen. It depends on who are the coalition partners and what are their priorities. Then the priorities of the ruling party may have to be compromised. If the priorities of the ruling party are compromised, there may be some good in it, there may be some bad in it. The coalition partners may also hold back the ruling party from doing something bad.
Or they might pull them to do something.
So it is both ways.
The coin can flip either way.
Coin can flip either way. So I think but we must remember one thing, that today the country is on its own momentum. See, when an elephant starts running, it's very difficult to pull it back. And when an elephant stops running, it's very difficult to make it start running again. It takes a lot of time. So it is like a ship. It's like a big ship. अगर आप शिप को रोकना भी चाहेंगे, तो रुकते रुकते भी उसको टाइम लगता है. सिमिलरली अगर रुक जाएगा तो उसको चलाना चाहेंगे तो चलते चलते भी उसको टाइम लगता है. तो वो आपके ऊपर डिपेंड करता है कि आप शिप को रोक रहे हैं या चला रहे हैं, और आप किस स्पीड पे चला रहे हैं और किस स्पीड पे उसको वापस ला रहे हैं.
तो आई थिंक अब ये सारा डिपेंड करेगा ऑन हू राइड्स द एलिफेंट.
Who rides the elephant? So and what does he have in mind in terms of the future? What is the direction that he wants the country to take? There's a lot of debate today happening about wealth redistribution and stuff like that. These are things which are, if you ask me, there are certain things which have already been tried out and experienced and experimented with all over the world, and they've not been too successful. So if we want to try to do that again, I don't think it will be any benefit to anybody. And I don't even expect, frankly, if you ask me, that any government which comes to power will do that. So it is all noise. It is the sky is falling theory.
True.
So everybody is saying the sky will fall if this happens and sky will fall if that happens. So I don't think anybody is going to go ahead and do that also.
Sir, but not just India, a lot of major nations are going into elections and all. So अगर हम international scenario को mind में रखें, not just what is happening in India, do you think that developments that happen around the world, they will somehow impact the Indian markets?
See, whatever happens around the world definitely impacts India. We are connected to the world. Now let's say just for example, let's say the US. Tomorrow, let's say somebody who wins starts getting more protectionist, starts having more protectionist policies, or starts putting, bans and duties on imports and stuff like that, then obviously it will impact the other countries also. It will impact India also. So definitely those results do impact. Again, no major policy decisions are taken on the eve of elections. You will not believe it. More than 50% of the world population is going into elections this year.
True, sir.
More than 80 countries are going into elections this year. So there is no major policy decision which is going to happen. But post-elections, what is the margin of victory? What is the kind of result which comes? What are the announcements which are made? What comes in their manifesto? All those things will tell us what is possibly going to happen. But even abroad, we've seen actually elections don't impact the market that much. Elections only impact the market to the extent that it impacts the policies of the government.
So it's eventually the policies that impact the market.
Policies which impact the earnings of the companies, and finally then those earnings impact the markets.
So जो current government है उनके दो बहुत major policies या agendas रहे हैं. One was MSMEs and another was Make in India. How do you see both them having an impact over the years over the stock market? Do you think they have helped India boom when it comes to the market or not?
See, manufacturing is one area where India definitely needs to grow. So certain policies of the government like PLI, for example, has definitely helped in boosting the manufacturing sector. Similarly, Make in India has definitely helped certain sectors, like for example the defense sector. It has definitely helped those sectors, and it has a lot of impact on the other sectors also. See, there are both pros and cons of these kind of policies. The pro is that your domestic industry may do well. The other part is that even the other nations may have the same policies for your products. So, they will also get into protectionist mode, and they will start to, then that is the scenario which starts developing.
So, जहाँ cons की बात आती है, one con on which I would like to know your opinion vis-a-vis the markets and the development of the nation is that when we push a policy, whatever that policy may be, maybe Make in India, maybe MSMEs, maybe startups, a lot of the nation's money also goes into that, because everything eventually works on investments, on money. Everything is driven by money. So, of course, when we are doing something on such a large scale, failures are bound to happen. So, when those failures happen, debts also grow. So, how do you perceive that situation?
See, there is a distinct change which is happening. If you'll see, we are moving, like for example, the startups. Now, startups are essentially funded through equity. They are not funded through debt. They are being funded by private equity players and venture capitalists who understand the risks better than the banks do. Right? So, that is a distinct change which is happening. And in India, the startup culture has started growing. So this will be a definite boom. And one very basic thing in the startup culture is that failure is always a risk. Not everything will succeed, but failure is also not a taboo. It is not that if I fail today, I'm done for life. If I fail today, I come back tomorrow with a better, prospect and a better product and a better, offering. That is how it is being taken today. So what we need to develop is a culture of startup, is to make people get into more entrepreneurial spirit, to get people to take more risks, and we need to somehow develop that kind of a scenario for the economy to really grow well.
So last but not the least, इस situation में with the elections going on, is it a good time to make investments?
We always say one thing, that the good time to make investment is when you have the money, and the time to get out of investment is when you need the money. See, a good time to make investment always depends on one very basic thing. What is the objective of your investment, and for how long are you investing? If you are investing for 1 month, 3 months, 1 year, I will say please don't get into equity. It can be very volatile. But if you are investing for, let's say, 5 years, 7 years, I don't think there is any risk of getting into equity. See, nobody on the earth can time the market.
True.
Nobody can tell you what will happen tomorrow. Only God knows what will happen tomorrow. Right? So we don't know. Whatever has happened in the election so far has got sealed in those machines. Right? So we don't know. If you want to get into the markets, my sincere advice to you will be to get into the markets for the long term. Don't try to time the market. Don't look for an opportunity. Okay, fine. The market may correct or market may go up in the short run. If let's say the ruling party doesn't get a clear majority, the market may correct. तब मैं जाऊँगा. नहीं आप बोलो कि नहीं ruling party को बहुत अच्छा majority आने वाला है तो market ऊपर जाएगा तो अभी डाल दूँ. Don't go with that objective. Don't try to time the market. Invest for the long term. That is the only way to make money. My understanding of this market is that the only way you can generate wealth is through power of compounding. For that you need time. That is it. Nothing else. And you need to be, investing in the right product. For that, consult a financial advisor, and take his assistance. जैसे कोई प्रॉब्लम होती है आपको, हेल्थ की प्रॉब्लम होती है तो डॉक्टर के पास जाते हैं, लॉ की प्रॉब्लम होती है तो लॉयर के पास जाते हैं, ठीक है ना. अगर आपने घर बनाना है तो आर्किटेक्ट के पास जाते हैं. इसी तरह फाइनेंशियल एडवाइस चाहिए तो फाइनेंशियल एडवाइजर के पास जाओ. ही विल बी द राइट पर्सन टू टेल यू. डोंट मेक योर ओन guesses and decisions. So that is what it is.
So I think a wise PM once said कि सरकारें आएंगी सरकारें जाएंगी पर देश रहना चाहिए देश चलना चाहिए. So a wise financial consultant has told us that your investment should go on irrespective of who wins or who loses. But I would like to add before we end that elections are on. Please do go out and vote. Your vote will make a difference. May the best party win. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much.